Jefferson. Meet today on It's Academic. Hello, everyone. I'm Hillary Howard. This is the opening round, and we're so glad you're with us today. Lots of noise. You all know how this works. Each team begins with 100 points, 10 up for a right answer, 10 down for a wrong answer. The contestants in the studio do not see what you do on the screen at home. Let's begin. Gee whiz. You have to think about the letter G here because all your answers must end with the letter G. Please identify the following. Once a British colony, this city was Jefferson. Answer. Hong Kong is what we're looking for. He commanded the American Expeditionary Force in World War Quince Orchard.
Pershing?
Yes. Carl Sandburg wrote a poem about this weathercon, Jefferson.
Fog.
Yes. He co-authored a 1928 anti-war agreement with French Foreign Minister Jefferson. Kellogg is right. This American scientist co-discovered the elements Quince Orchard.
Pollen?
Nope, Seaborg. Plutonium and berkelium. This tiny country is bordered by Belgium, France, and Germany. Quince Orchard.
Luxembourg?
Luxembourg is right. This 20th century Louisiana politician was known as Quince Orchard. Long is it. People have long debated whether this object came before the chicken. Orchard.
Egg?
Egg is it, and that's the end of the round.
It's Academic with Hillary Howard. Sponsored by Giant. New things are happening at Giant.
We can feel it. Oh, yeah. We're gonna love it. She gets funky. Hang all together. Are you ready? Expert spirit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another playoff match of It's Academic. Each of these teams is good. They all won their first round matches, so let's meet them. We begin with Quince Orchard from Gaithersburg, Maryland. Logan Feingold, how you doing?
Hello, I'm Logan Feingold. I'm a junior from Quince Orchard High School.
Great. Nat Rubin, hiya.
Hi, my name's Nat Rubin. I'm a senior, and I'd like to thank our coach, Mr. Schumann, and our principal, Mrs. Working, for their support.
And Tane Wakare.
I'm Tane. I'm a 17-year-old senior at Kyo, and I'd like to thank our friends and family for all the support they've given us through the years.
Beautiful. Questions are worth 20 points, nothing off for a wrong answer. The gang escaped. You'll escape with 20 points if you can find here the name of what sacred river of India?
Ganges?
Yes. Battle of New Orleans, Elvis Presley born, Galileo dies. These events all took place on January 8th, but in different centuries. Please arrange them in chronological order.
Galileo dies, Battle of New Orleans, Elvis Presley born.
That's it. Fill in the blanks here, and you can name what bay near India. That also names a kind of tiger.
Bengal?
Yeah. Thorn tail. The letters in this painful phrase can be rearranged to name what sort of athletic competition that involves 3 different events.
Triathlon?
You got it. He plodded on from blunder to blunder. This was Winston Churchill's opinion of General Henry Buller, who fought in what South African war against the Afrikaners?
Boer War?
That's it. Quince Orchard with 230 points. To Bethesda, Maryland's Walter Johnson High School. Hello, Tommy Tripp.
Hi, I'm Tommy Tripp. I'm a senior. I'd like to thank our principal, Miss Baker, and all our alternates for coming out.
Wonderful, and it's good to have you here. Ho Jung Yang, hi.
Hi, I'm Ho Jung Yang. I'm a senior at Walter Johnson, and I'd like to thank our sponsor, Mr. Cochran, and all our alternates who came out to support us today.
Great, and hello, Gideon Epstein.
Hi, my name is Gideon. I'm an 18-year-old senior at WJ. I'd like to thank everyone who came out to support us today, along with our alternates, Sabrina, Michael, and Grace.
All right, guys. Ma lifts weights. Instead of lifting weights, try some mental exercise by finding in this phrase the name of what African country whose capital is Bamako.
Molly.
Yep, that's it. Alan Shepard, Sir Thomas More, Tsar Nicholas II. These three men had little in common, except they all died in July. Please arrange them in correct chronological order.
Sir Thomas More, Tsar Nicholas II, Alan Shepard.
Sir Thomas More, Tsar Nicholas II, then Alan Shepard.
That's it. Put what same number in the blanks here, and you'll have slogans associated in U.S. history with the Oregon Dispute and the Reconstruction era.
48.
No, it's just 40.
Oh.
Me lug rafts. You can sail to 20 points by rearranging these letters to name what warm Atlantic Ocean current that flows toward Europe from the Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf Stream.
Yep. Free advice is worth what it costs. Nothing. This was the opinion of what 5-star Army general who received a lot of advice in Korea but was fired by President Truman.
MacArthur.
MacArthur it is. Walter Johnson with 180 points. From Alexandria, Virginia, the gentleman from Thomas Jefferson High School, Michael Yu. Hi.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm a 17-year-old senior, and I'd like to thank our coaches, Mr. Liu and Mr. Laffey, and our school's administration for supporting us.
Great. Ryan Gallant. Hi.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm an 18-year-old senior at TJ, and I'd like to thank our friends and family for coming out to support us today.
And Rohan Hedge.
Hi, I'm Rowan. I'm a 15-year-old sophomore. I'd like to thank our alternates who are off and our friends back at home rooting for us.
All right, guys. Low attendance record, which I'm sure does not apply to you gentlemen. You can turn this negative phrase around if you find hidden within it the last name of what Scotsman who invented the steam engine.
What?
Yep, that's it. Gregor Mendel, Ferdinand Magellan, Nelson Mandela. These three men all made news at different times. Please put them in chronological order, starting with the earliest.
2, 1, 3.
That's it. You can blunt the edge of this axe by filling in the blanks to name what Austrian prince who reigned briefly as Emperor of Mexico.
Maximilian.
Yeah, Horst. If you rearrange these letters, you'll name what Greek island where in ancient times there stood a statue called the Colossus.
Rhodes.
That's it. Icicles of marble. The poet Lord Byron wrote this description of what limestone formations that develop on the roofs and floors of caves.
Stalactites and stalagmites.
That's it. Thomas Jefferson with 210 points. That's the end of the round. In today's match will receive tickets to a Washington Nationals game. The new season is underway, so plan ahead to enjoy baseball at Nationals Park. To purchase tickets, visit nationals.com or call 202-675-6287. Time for the picture-perfect round, but before we begin, let's recap the scores. Quince Orchard, 230. Walter Johnson, 180. Jefferson, 210. Questions are worth 20 points, up or down. Here's the first clue. This painting depicts what historic prison? Walter Johnson.
Bastille.
Yes, it is. For centuries, the fort of El Morro has guarded the harbor of what city, the capital of Puerto Rico? Quince Orchard.
San Juan?
Yes. Here, you see music for a waltz by what German? Jefferson.
Brahms.
It is Brahms. If a line segment were drawn between these 2 points, what would its? Jefferson?
13.
13, that's its length. Carefully preserved here is the study of what 19th century New England poet whose middle name is Wadsworth. Jefferson.
Longfellow.
It is Longfellow. A school of Wales is known by what special term? Walter Johnson.
Pod.
Pod is it. Spain's Escorial Palace was completed in what year? 4 years before the defeat of the Spanish Armada. Quince Orchard.
1576.
No, 1584. Moon jellyfish like these were aboard the first flight of what space shuttle that met with disaster in 2000? Walter Johnson.
Columbia.
It is Columbia, and that's the end of the round. Let's meet the teachers and faculty that get these students ready for competition, and we begin with Quince Orchard. Nat, who's with you?
Great. To my right, we have our principal, Mrs. Working, and to our left, we have our coach, Mr. Schumann, and we'd also like to thank the Palms and our alternate for being here.
Awesome. Nice to see you guys. From Walter Johnson, Ho Jung, who's with you?
To my right is my principal, Miss Baker, and to my left is our sponsor, Mr. Cochran, and I'd also like to thank our alternates for coming today.
Great. Thanks. And from Jefferson, Ryan, the gentleman behind you.
To my right is our co-coach and co-sponsor, Mr. Liu, and to my left is our other co-coach and co-sponsor, Mr. Laffey.
Very good to see you guys. Okay, so you viewers of It's Academic know what's about to happen here. There are 3 packets. Quince Orchard will answer questions from one of them, and Walter Johnson gets to decide which packet it will be.
2.
Two, she says gleefully. There are 8 questions, and you know there are bells and whistles and a bonus if you get them all right. It's interesting to note that William Penn College is located not in Pennsylvania, but in what Midwestern state whose capital is Des Moines?
Iowa?
Yes. According to one poll, chocolate chip cookies were the favorite of what percentage of Americans, equal to the only prime number between 50 and 55?
53?
Yeah, 53 is it. An auction of items belonging to 19th century explorer Henry Stanley included a water-stained map of what second longest African river?
Zambezi?
No, it's the Congo River. Just want to check one thing. Formerly called the Zaire River. Here's your science question. Root pressure, surface tension, turgor pressure. Which of these terms refers to the stiffness of plants and the crispness of vegetables due to osmotic pressure in their cells?
Turgor pressure?
Yeah, that's right. Perhaps the only president to sew his own clothes was what? Tennessee Taylor, who became our 17th president on the death of Abraham Lincoln.
Johnson?
Yes. Raisin cake was the favorite dessert of what 19th century woman who cooked up poetry at her home in Amherst, Massachusetts?
Dickinson?
Yeah. Here's your math question. Solve for x.
600?
That's it. John Peter were the first 2 names of what American printer whose 1735 trial helped establish freedom of the press in this country?
Zanger?
It is Zenger. Quince Orchard with 370 points. Walter Johnson is up. Jefferson, which packet, 1 or 3?
3.
3 it is. First question. Winds reaching speeds of 2 million miles an hour blow across the face of what celestial body 93 million miles from Earth?
The sun.
It is the sun. In 2001, paleontologists were delighted to find the bones of a huge dinosaur in the desert near what capital city of Egypt?
Cairo.
It is Cairo. Although it has its ups and downs, what rotary-bladed aircraft conceived by Da Vinci was perfected by Sikorsky and is considered indispensable today?
The helicopter.
It is the helicopter. Science question. Glutamic acid, lactic acid, acetic acid. Which of these 3 acids is one of the 20 common amino acids?
Glutamic acid.
Yes. Ratification of the U.S. Constitution was originally opposed by what man who later supported the document and became our 5th president?
Monroe.
Yep, it is. Bookstores didn't sell many copies of The Great Gatsby until after the death of what author who had written the novel?
Fitzgerald.
It's Fitzgerald. Here's your math question. How many degrees are there in angle X?
What's 4 divided by 260? 265. 65. 65.
Answer?
65.
No, it's 20. His greed and ambition were extreme, said one historian about what Spanish conquistador who conquered the Incas of Peru?
Tesoro.
Pizarro.
That is right. Good job, Walter Johnson. 380 points. Packet number 1 for Jefferson. Luther Burbank, who developed a wide variety of fruits and flowers, also developed a less spiny version of what desert plant noted for its prickliness?
Cactus?
Yes, cactus. In an effort to increase readership of its annual defense report, a comic book version was once issued in what country where manga comics originated?
Japan.
It's Japan. In 1937, Earth came within 3 million miles of colliding with an asteroid, named for what Greek messenger god, the counterpart to the Roman Mercury?
Hermes.
It is Hermes. Here's your science question. Rise, fall, stay the same. A measuring cup half full of water has an ice cube floating freely in the middle. As the ice melts, the water level will do which of these?
Rise.
Nope, it stays the same. Some critics used the term conscience money to describe the $10 million paid to Mexico for what 1853 land purchase named for its U.S. negotiator.
Gadsden purchase.
Yes. The dictator, whose name and picture were everywhere in George Orwell's novel 1984, was referred to by what 2-word phrase which sounds as if he were a member of the family?
Big Brother.
It is Big Brother. Here's your math question. If a equals -7, this expression is equal to what integer?
Yeah, no, it's 24. Just, yeah. 24.
24 is right. Crossroads of Freedom is a book about what 1862 Maryland battle called the bloodiest day in the Civil War.
Antietam.
Antietam it is. Jefferson, 410 points. We're coming back with the grab bag. Don't go away. It's time for the grab bag round, but before we begin, let's recap the scores. Quince Orchard, 370. Walter Johnson, 380. Jefferson, 410. It's a close game. Anybody can win. Points are worth 20 up or down. The visual questions are worth 30 up or down. Here we go. 2 inches taller than when he lifted off. What American astronaut returned in March? Quince Orchard.
Kelly?
Yes. Returning to the Olympics this year will be what R-initialed sport that originated at a school? Quince Orchard.
Rugby?
It is rugby. If you took a cruise on the Great Lakes, you might start on Lake Ontario, the easternmost, and end on the Lake Jefferson.
Superior.
Yeah, good guess, on the westernmost side. On your screens for 30 points. This ancient Middle Eastern god had the same name as what British ship that John Paul Jones captured in 17 Jefferson?
Mithras.
No, Serapis. With a force of only 200 soldiers, what Revolutionary War hero managed to capture Vincennes from the British in 1779? The answer is George Rogers Clark. What is the sum of the exterior angles of any triangle? Jefferson.
360.
Yes, that's it. Michael Crichton chose what constellation to name the extraterrestrial Johnson?
Andromeda.
Yeah, on your screens for 30 points. We need partners on the ground to beat ISIS. Here you have a quote from what current defense secretary? Orchard.
Carter?
Yes. The ever-optimistic Mr. Micawber, who is said to represent Charles Dickens's own father, appears in what semi-autobiographical Jefferson?
David Copperfield.
It is David Copperfield. Choice. The rate of flow of electricity through a wire is measured in which of the following? Quince Orchard.
Amperes.
Yep, it's amperes. The wounded in the battle at Glendale. What Union general was back in command at Gettysburg in 1863? Jefferson.
Meade.
You've got it. On your screens for 30 points. These medieval panels show the Virgin and Child meeting England's Richard II, a member of what P initial dynasty? Quince Orchard.
Plantagenet.
It is. What Rudyard Kipling poem is named for a heroic water carrier, a native of Jefferson?
It's Gunga Din.
It is Gunga Din. Even politically correct Well, do you want to answer it?
Democrats.
No, it was Man. We were looking for Isle of Man, but very good. Good game. That's it, everybody. The scores are now official. We begin with Walter Johnson from Bethesda, Maryland, Gideon Ho-Jung, and Tommy with 400 points. From Alexandria's Jefferson High School, Rohan, Ryan, and Michael with 460 points. And coming back for a semifinal later this year, Gaithersburg's Quince Orchard High School, Tanae, Nat, and Logan, 490 points. That was a very close game. Make sure you tune in for another playoff match. That's going to be next week with Richard, Montgomery, St. John's, and Whitman. Until then, I'm Hillary Howard. So glad to see you. See you next time. Everybody else, come on down.